Right, so this is all the questions on acids and alkalis for the chemistry section of the Unit 1 applied question. Now, it hasn't photocopied very well, okay, but we're looking for the one that is closest to 0, okay? Remember, this is neutral, all of these are acids, and then all of these are bases, okay, or we sometimes use the word alkali. Alkali is when they are soluble. Okay, so alkalis are when the bases dissolve. So the strongest acid is battery acid. The weakest alkali, the one closest to 7, okay, is blood. And then the neutral substance is water. Okay, this is kind of like a little bit more difficult question. Okay, so a couple of things to always think about with these questions to help you get through. If you see something turning lime water milky or cloudy, it's got to have a carbonate attached to it. Okay, it's got to have a carbonate attached to it, so that allows you to pick that one. Okay, if something turns blue, it's got to have copper in it. Okay, we've already used that copper carbonate there, so it's going to be copper oxide. Okay, no visible change would be something that's unlikely to react, something that's already a salt, which would be sodium chloride. Okay, but keep them two helpful hints in your mind to get some marks there. Next question then, these are difficult questions, okay, is how likely they'll come up, but I wanted to put one in to show you. So gas A, so we're looking to see here, so gas A is here. Whenever you see the word carbonate, the gas that's going to be produced is carbon dioxide, okay. Then here we've got, and write it out, it'll help you, we've got magnesium plus hydrochloric acid. Okay, so I would always write them out along the side to help you do it. Okay, so that's hydrochloric acid. So you would know if you looked at that, that would be magnesium chloride. It's a metal on its own, so it's going to produce hydrogen. Okay, same kind of thing then for this one. Okay, you've got hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide. So the same kind of thing now. You want to make, what do you make? What salt do you make? Sodium chloride. And then exactly the same thing here. It's made copper. It's made copper. So it's got to be copper by here. Because it's in solution, it's going to be oxide. Okay. Give the chemical formula of zinc chloride. What I would do there is go to your table of ions, which will be at the back. Look and see that zinc is 2+, chlorine is minus. Okay. Do top, swap, drop, okay? So put the numbers without the charges at the top. Swap them over. Okay? And then drop them down, okay? Anything that's a 1, you don't really need to keep. This then is a graph, okay? And the questions are on the next page. So make sure that you've got access to both the graph and the questions then to see what is going on. Okay, so the volume of acid to neutralise, you're looking for the peak. I know it's not a great picture, but I can't get it any bigger on the mixed screen. So you're looking for the peak, okay, which you'll be able to see on yours where they're both peaked, 25, okay. Maximum temperature rise, you're going to take the starting temperature, the end temperature, the start's that, the end's that, take them away from each other and you end up with 3. Larger temperature rise, that's going to be A because it's got a bigger peak, that's the stronger acid. Explain what an indicator does. An indicator shows colour change to show the point of neutralisation, normally green if you're using a universal indicator, but it can be different colours. And you can use colour change to record the volume used, so the volume needed to neutralise. Okay, really nice, easy question then. pH of sulfuric acid, it's a really strong acid, so it's going to have a pH of 1. Give the chemical name of an acid other than sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid. You could have had ethanoic acid, citric acid. There are loads, okay? Again, another question with that carbonate. As soon as you see that carbonate, you write carbon dioxide. Again, a really nice kind of easy question, just extracting information from a table. Which one is the strongest acid? That's going to be lemon juice because it's the lowest number, okay? Neutral then is 7, so you're looking for the number closest to neutral, which would be your saliva, okay? A word equation then, Magnesium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid, you will have done this. So magnesium plus hydrochloric acid would make magnesium chloride. Because it's a hydroxide, you also get water. Okay. Name the gas produced. That's going to be carbon dioxide. How can this gas be identified? It turns lime water cloudy. Looking then at making kind of like a salt. Okay, state what pupil can be seen when all the acid is used up. You will have done this in lessons. You should see an excess of that copper oxide because whatever can will dissolve in the sulfuric acid, and then there'll be an excess of the copper oxide by there. Name the process used in stage 2, that is to filter. Name the substance removed in stage 3 is going to be the water. Name the base, so the base is that one you can always work out because the acids have always got acid at the end, so that's the base. Give the name of the salt, so copper oxide plus sulfuric acid, write it out as a word equation. Okay, and that's going to make copper sulfate. Okay, magnesium sulfate is made by adding excess magnesium oxide to sulfuric acid. Why is excess? To ensure all of the acid reacts, okay, to make sure that all of the acid reacts with the copper oxide, okay. Nice labelling then, a filter funnel by there. What is this? It's the excess magnesium oxide. How would you obtain crystals? Place in an evaporating basin and leave to evaporate. Another word equation. So magnesium oxide plus sulfuric acid makes magnesium sulfate. Okay, you've got oxide, so it's going to be water. Another then, giving the chemical equation, do the top swap drop. Okay, so you've got Mg2 plus Cl minus. They just come from the table of ions. Top Mg2 Cl1 swap Mg1 Cl2, drop them down. Okay, again, you don't really need to include the 1. Then you've got copper sulfate, name the acid, so it's sulfate, so it's going to come from sulfuric acid. The first stage of preparation to make salts is adding excess copper carbonate to acid. Give 2 observations. You're going to see a temperature change. It's likely to increase, get warmer. The colour, because it's copper, is likely to turn to blue. And you should see, because it's carbonate, bubbles of gas, CO2 being formed. Okay. Describe the next 2 stages then. You'd filter the solution to remove the excess and add solution to evaporating basin and wait for the water to evaporate off. Okay. Another word equation. Copper, you always take the first name. Put that there. Hydrochloric acid always makes chlorides. Okay, there's only 3 you need to know. Be careful of them. It's an oxide, so you're going to make water. Another nice easy question then. It says grapes contain tartic acid. Tartic acid is an acid, so it has to be one of these 2. That's prior elimination, so it can't be any of them. Okay, now we're not going to be eating something that's pH 1. That's really bad for us, so it's got to be pH 5. Okay, and that's kind of the reason that I've given down there. Watch that, marks are quite high there for something that's quite simple if you think about it. Last question then, well, it kind of carries on from the previous question. Plot in some points and then kind of carrying on your line as best as you can. Okay, graph plotting is quite an important skill. As you can see there, it's 3 marks. Give the graph the minimum pH value, so the minimum pH obtained during the experiment is going to be 4.5. Okay, predict when it's returned to normal. That depends on how your curve went. So when it goes back to 6.6 and then this one it's 60 minutes.